Hey guys, what's going on? It's MJQA coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Got ourselves an awesome question been sent in from the other side of the world. Canada been sent in from. The question is, what is the difference between a standard or a conventional barbell squat? So just your usual squat with the bar on your back. What is the difference between that and a box squat? Also known as a bench squat, also sometimes referred to as a seated squat. Look, the answer to this question is quite simple. In order to answer it, we have to understand what we're talking about here. So your barbell squat is just your conventional squat. You got a bar on your back, you're putting weight on that bar and you're squatting down to parallel, or some people even squat below parallel, and then you're pushing the weight back up. It's just your conventional squat. Everyone's seen that sort of thing before. When we talk about a bench squat or a box squat or a seated squat, or whatever you want to call it, the setup is exactly the same. However, instead of squatting down to a certain depth and pushing the weight back up, you actually squat down, sit on a bench or a box, or sit down on something at about parallel. You usually won't go below parallel when you're talking about a bench squat. So you sit down on a piece of apparatus at about parallel. You actually stop, you actually pause, and then from that seated position, you explode back up with the weight on your back. So that's the practical difference. In terms of what the physiological difference or the physical difference or what you're actually going to experience when doing the different variations of the squat, when you start implementing box squats, bench squats, or anything where you're sitting down and you're actually pausing the weight before you explode back up, what you're doing is you're allowing all of the elasticity to come out of your muscles. So when you're actually sitting down, you're actually sitting down for a pause. Some people even sit down for a count. Remove all the elasticity, remove all the tension in the quads and the glutes and the hamstrings and the calves. And then once all of that is released, you explode back up, you push the weight back up. So what that's gonna do, first of all, a lot of people won't be able to squat as much weight when they're using that pausing method on a bench or a box squat. And secondly, it's going to involve a lot more glute activation, because as soon as you take all of that tension out of your quads, your calves, the one muscle that needs to contract to get you up from that seated position are your glutes. So it's going to be a much more glute dominant type exercise rather than quad, hamstring, and even involve a lot of calves as well. So guys, that is the answer to the question. What is the difference between a barbell squat and a bench squat? In terms of how you incorporate them, me personally, I love doing both, man. Sometimes I'll barbell squat. If I want an extra challenge or I want to hit more glutes, I'll put a bench down there and I'll do bench squats with a pause in them. It's really up to you, but I personally advise that you incorporate both types of squats into your leg routines. Guys, if you've got a question that you want us to answer in MJQA, man, you know what you got to do. You got to pop a comment below, hashtag MJQA, and then ask your question. And guys, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MJQA. And guys, that is MJQA, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.